The rain didn't stop that evening. It poured endlessly, soaking the streets of the small town and blurring the neon lights that flickered on street corners. At the corner of 5th and Rosewood, Sam's auto repair sat quietly under the dim glow of a rusted street lamp. Inside, Sam wiped the grease off his hands, ready to lock up for the day. That's when he saw her. Across the street, standing alone at the bus stop, was a woman in a wedding dress, soaked to the bone, mascara running down her cheeks, veil clinging to her shoulders. Her shoulders trembled, whether from the cold or from tears, Sam couldn't tell. For a few seconds, Sam stood frozen, staring. A bride? Alone? In this weather? He grabbed his umbrella and stepped into the rain. As he crossed the street, his instincts screamed this was more than just a strange coincidence. This woman was in trouble. "Ma'am, are you okay?" he asked, gently, careful not to get too close. She looked up at him with tired, reddened eyes. "Do I look okay to you?" she snapped, then immediately looked away, ashamed. "Sorry. I didn't mean to. I have nowhere else to go." Sam hesitated, then extended the umbrella closer to her. "You'll get sick out here. My shop's right across the street. You can wait there until the rain dies down." She looked at him for a moment, as if trying to judge if he was safe. Then, with a small nod, she followed him across the street. The garage was warm and cluttered, filled with the smell of oil and tools. Sam grabbed an old but clean blanket from the back and handed it to her. She wrapped herself in it silently. "I'm Sam," he said softly. "You want some tea?" She nodded. "I'm Layla." As she sat in the corner of the shop, holding a steaming cup of tea in both hands, she began to speak. "He left me. On the wedding day. Said he couldn't do it. Said he didn't love me enough to marry me. I ran. I couldn't face my parents. Couldn't face anyone. So I just ended up here." Sam didn't interrupt. Sometimes, just being quiet was the greatest kindness. She stayed for a few hours. As night fell and the rain grew heavier, Sam offered her the small cot he kept in the back room. "It's not much, but it's dry," he said. "You can stay tonight. In the morning, we'll figure things out." She didn't argue. She was too exhausted. Over the next few days, Layla became a quiet part of Sam's routine. She helped sweep the garage, brought him coffee from the corner store, and even smiled occasionally, at first shyly, then more easily. Sam learned that she had worked as a kindergarten teacher before quitting to prepare for the wedding. Her family had disowned her after the groom ran off. They called her cursed. Ashamed. Unworthy. "I feel like I lost everything in one day," she told Sam once, as they worked on a car together. "Sometimes losing everything," Sam said, "is how we find what really matters." She looked at him, her eyes glimmering. Sam had no family. He'd grown up in the foster system, bouncing from home to home. He'd learned to live with little, trust even less. He was a good mechanic but a lonely soul. Layla's presence, even silent, brought warmth into his life he hadn't known he needed. But he never crossed the line. He offered her safety, not expectations. Then, one afternoon, the past came barging in. A tall man in an expensive suit walked into the garage. It was Rick. Layla's ex-fiancé. "Layla," he said, stunned. "Thank God. I've been looking for you everywhere. I made a mistake. Please. Come back." Sam watched quietly, his chest tightening. Layla stood still. Calm. "You didn't make a mistake, Rick," she said. "You made a choice. So did I." Rick frowned. "You're living here. With him?" "Yes," she said. "With someone who showed me more kindness in 1 hour than you did in 2 years. I'm not the same woman you left behind." Rick left without another word. That night, Sam found her sitting on the cot, lost in thought. "You okay?" he asked. She looked at him, eyes misty. "I meant what I said. You're the only one who saw me for who I was. Not for what I'd lost." Sam hesitated, heart pounding. "I'm just a mechanic, Layla. I've got grease in my veins and dust in my dreams. But if there's ever a second chance at love, I'd be honored to take that shot with you." She smiled through her tears. "You already have." Months passed. Layla found a new teaching job. She rented a small apartment but visited Sam every day. They became inseparable, partners in everything but name. One afternoon, while Sam wrestled with a stubborn car engine, he looked up at her, grease-stained and wide-eyed. "Marry me?" She laughed and cried at once. "Yes. 100 times, yes." 2 years later, the very bus stop where she once stood abandoned became the place where they exchanged vows. Children from her school brought flowers. Local shopkeepers brought food. Sam wore a clean shirt. Layla wore a simple white dress, no veil. And together, they vowed never to leave each other standing in the rain again. A local newspaper picked up the story, "Mechanic Mary's rejected bride he once sheltered, a love story born in the rain." Sam never became a wealthy man. But he became something far richer, a man who built a life on kindness, one small act at a time. Together, he and Layla founded a community shelter called Second Stop, a safe haven for women in crisis. They offered shelter, job training, and more importantly, hope. Because sometimes, a warm blanket, a cup of tea, and a stranger's compassion are all it takes to change a life forever. And sometimes, that life ends up changing yours too.